Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
The Hillsdale camera has plenty of people awake and out and about this morning, and if you're heading out, it'll be on dry roads and sidewalks. Nothing really concerning with our forecast this morning, though it is chilly, so I'm going to splurge. Go for a large coffee at 8 a.m. Temperatures in the upper 20s, still feeling like they're in the teens with the wind. We'll talk more about the wind as 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News This Morning.
Major downsizing is now taking place involving the Department of Education, with the president vowing to dismantle the agency. Good morning, Mid-Michigan. It's Wednesday, March 12th. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Megan Maselli. Thank you so much for joining us.
6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories. Today, President Donald Trump will host leaders from Ireland the same day his 25% tariffs on all aluminum and steel imports are set to take effect.
Meanwhile, the Department of Education is preparing for mass firings, with nearly 50% of its workforce now on the chopping block. Jared Hill is here for you with the latest.
Major downsizing at the Department of Education. Today, offices nationwide are shuttered, with the agency announcing more than 1,300 people are being fired.
It's going to have enormous consequences to families across the country.
It's a step in President Donald Trump's promise to dismantle the department.
We have a bloated, very dishonest, in many cases, federal government and bureaucracy.
Also today, President Trump's 25% tariffs on all imported steel and aluminum kick in.
The tariffs are going to be throwing off a lot of money to this country, and we've been ripped off for years by other countries.
The move has support from many domestic steel and aluminum makers, but the head of the Can Manufacturers Institute says consumers will eventually take a hit.
How long will it take for people to feel the impacts of these tariffs?
The impacts will probably be felt in the next 60 to 90 days as we buy more steel and aluminum, and as those containers are filled with food and beverages.
Trade uncertainty sent markets tumbling again Tuesday. The U.S. Commerce Secretary.
The markets are going to learn. Let the deal maker make his deals.
A breakthrough on one deal. Ukraine says it'll accept a 30-day U.S. brokered ceasefire with Russia.
We'll take this offer now to the Russians, and we hope that they'll say yes.
The U.S. has pledged to unfreeze Ukrainian military aid and intelligence sharing in response. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The European Union announced it will retaliate against steel and aluminum tariffs with countermeasures on billions of dollars worth of U.S. goods. The president of the European Commission says the Trump administration's tariffs are, quote, disrupting supply chains and bringing uncertainty for the economy. The countermeasures aim to match the scope of American tariffs, which the EU says will be worth about $28 billion. They're set to start today and will be in place fully by April 13th.
6 News is your local election headquarters, and it's now official. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist is jumping into the 2026 race for Michigan. He says as governor, he'll focus on expanding affordable housing and improving access to health care, particularly mental health care. The lieutenant governor now joins Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson and Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson that are running in the 2026 state Democratic primary.
4 people now face criminal charges after a 5-year-old boy was killed when a hyperbaric chamber exploded earlier this year. Investigators say it happened January 31st at the Oxford Center in Troy. The explosion killed 5-year-old Thomas Cooper, who at the time was inside the pressurized oxygen chamber. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel announced the charges yesterday, which include a second-degree murder charge against the facility's CEO, Tammy Peterson. The manager and safety manager are charged with involuntary manslaughter, as is the person prosecutors say was operating the machine at the time of the explosion.
Suffice it to say, for now, that the Oxford Center routinely operated sensitive and lethally dangerous hyperbaric chambers beyond their expected service lifetime and in complete disregard of vital safety measures and practices considered essential by medical and technical professionals.
AG Nessel argues the Oxford Center's leaders and employees did not follow safety protocols, which led to the explosion. She says it appears one single spark ignited inside the chamber, turning into the fire that killed Thomas within seconds.
The state now says chronic wasting deer disease, a deadly neurological infection that affects white-tailed deer, has been detected in another Michigan county. According to the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, the latest case was discovered in Osceola County involving a 7-year-old white-tailed deer that was living on a farm. Chronic wasting deer disease can be passed either from animal to animal or indirectly through the environment. State officials say it causes the brain of infected deer, elk, or moose to deteriorate, leading to weight loss, unusual actions, loss of body functions, and death. There are not reported cases of this infection in humans in Michigan, but health officials say animals with CWD should not be consumed.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Out on the Capitol camera, it doesn't show temperature, but it does show that we're dry. It'd be bad if we did have precipitation since we're below freezing, and that would have led to snow. Not going to be seeing that in our area. Instead, we just get to see some clouds mixing in with sun today. And then you look south, and there's clearly warmer weather. Indy's at 41, but it's going to take some time for that to get up to us. Right at the moment, we actually have some of the cooler temperatures in the Midwest, along with Alpena at 21, Erie over towards Pennsylvania at 26, Toronto at 27. We'll be seeing our own warmer weather here shortly. We just have to wait a little bit longer. Now, satellite and radar shows that we do have some clouds moving through, coming in from the northwest. Still have some clear skies, though, to the south. And that'll give us a bit of a varied look today. Some more clouds farther north, still possible, even in the afternoon. And to go along with that, I thought we'll throw Victor T. Vulture here for the Furcast. I'm telling you, no matter what kind of pet you have, we'll show it. This actually is the bird that shows up in my brother's work. Really interesting to see the shape of its head. Kind of cool. For any animals, domestic or otherwise, we do have green paws today. Nothing to stop you from taking them outside, letting them run around. But I would be on the lookout for the turkey vultures.
What do you mean a vulture that hangs out where he works? I've never, a vulture?
Yeah, he works over
such
towards...
a rare... Right?
Oh, there are like a bunch of them out there. Yes. They just sit on the ledge and just sun themselves.
Isn't cool. That something that you don't want to see above you?
It's probably an omen.
Yeah, I'm going to say. I don't think in my 50 years I've ever had just a vulture show up.
Really?
You don't see them on the side of the road all the time?
No. Where do you guys live? Like the Badlands?
Pretty much.
They're actually always on the side of the road.
Vultures?
Turkey vultures. Yeah. I see them weekly on the side of the road going for roadkill.
Wow. Oh, totally. Well, now there's way more roadkill out there too, so they're just like flocking.
You've never seen a turkey vulture?
Well, there's a difference between a turkey vulture and a vulture.
That is a turkey vulture.
His middle name's Turkey.
Just turkey vultures.
All right. Okay.
What's going on?
All right.
Coming up, a Michigander helped deliver the flame of hope for this year's Special Olympics World Winter Games.